You gotta check up on yourself as well and make a change. Yes, the voice of the late Michael Jackson as well. Yes, make a change. Start with yourself as well, alright? And it's now top of the hour 3 p.m. right here in St. Vincent and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. At this time, we bring to you our 3 p.m. news. Keep it locked on.
Welcome to EFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Shanika Stapleton. First, on the local scene, the Center for Enterprise Development, Inc. has launched a 3-day climate change adaptation workshop aimed at strengthening the capacity of community groups across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The initiative falls under the Unlocking Opportunities Through Climate Change Initiatives project and is funded by the Organization of American States Development Cooperation Fund. Training and Education Coordinator Keisha Phillips says, without proper training, vulnerable groups remain exposed to climate risks that deepen poverty and inequality. The workshop, facilitated by climate change and hazards management specialist Nyasha Androbus Cyrus, focuses on risk assessment, climate smart business practices, and building more resilient livelihoods, particularly for women and underserved communities. The Agriculture Input Warehouse Depot at the Kingston Fish Market is expanding operations as part of efforts to reduce reliance on imported seafood. Under the supervision of Inventory Officer Relson Franklin, the facility is introducing value-added processes such as smoking and canning, while offering a wide range of local and deep-sea species, including marlin, tuna, and mahi-mahi. The depot also provides custom cuts for restaurants and retailers, Friday delivery services for businesses, and guaranteed purchase agreements for local fishers. Plans are now underway to introduce vacuum sealing, filleting services, and eventually canned fish production to further strengthen the local blue economy. Still on the local scene, teachers and school feeding coordinators from 20 primary schools across St. Vincent and the Grenadines today participated in the Zero Hunger Trust Fund's ZHTF Resilient and Sustainable School Feeding Workshop. The important engagement is designed to deepen participants' understanding of the school feeding program, from its daily operations to its national significance in supporting the health, nutrition, and educational outcomes of children. Also, the workshop created a vital space for feedback, collaboration, and strengthening partnerships to ensure schools are fully supported. Presentations were delivered by representatives from the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, the School Feeding Unit from the Ministry of Education, and the Nutritional Support Program from the Ministry of Health. The ZHTF says, as it continues to celebrate its 10th anniversary, the fund is moving towards building a stronger, more resilient school feeding program. On to news in the region. A former police officer who had served on the Royal Bahamas Police Force with distinction has indicated he will appeal against a 30-year jail sentence after he was found guilty of plotting the murder of his alleged romantic rival. Justice Renee Mackay imposed a sentence on Darren Davis, 49, a former police corporal, during the sentencing phase of his murder conspiracy trial. The court was told that a conspirator faces the same penalty as the person who commits the underlying offense, and prior to his conviction in June 2025. Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions, Terry Archer, had sought a sentence of 40 years, while Davis's attorney, Davis Cash, had argued that 30 years in prison was appropriate. Prosecutors convinced 6 of 9 jurors that Davis conspired with others to murder 43-year-old Jason Whitfield, a senior clerk at the passport office. Whitfield was found shot to death inside his government-assigned car outside his home on December 3, 2022. Prosecutors relied on circumstantial evidence to prove their case, alleging that both men were seeing the same woman and that Davis allegedly told her he was going to kill Whitfield. Police allegedly found photos of Whitfield, his car, and the pinned location of his address in the trash folder of Davis's phone. Barbados could soon establish a dedicated gun court as Minister of Legal Affairs and Criminal Justice Michael Lashley pushes ahead with long-advocated reforms. Speaking at the Barbados Police Service Annual Grand Conference at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center, Lashley revealed discussions are underway with Attorney General Wilfred Abrahams to make the specialized court a reality. He outlined key requirements, including proper record keeping, ballistic evidence, investigators' reports, and timely case file submissions to avoid repeated adjournments. Lashley stressed that speedy justice strengthens public confidence, reduces crime, and eases the burden on victims, while signaling upgrades to police stations and systems to modernize the force. Finally, on the international scene, the UK government has said there is no pause in its Chagos Islands deal, despite a minister telling MPs that the UK was pausing the process of passing the legislation to transfer control of the territory to Mauritius. According to the BBC, a government source said there is no pause, a deadline was never set, and timings will be announced in the usual way. Foreign Office Minister Hamish Falconer was answering questions from MPs when he said the UK was pausing the process while discussions happened with the United States. The move comes after US President Donald Trump urged Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer to scrap the deal last week, despite earlier expressing support for the treaty. This has been VFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Shanika Stapleton, saying thank you for listening. Our next newscast will be presented at 5:30 p.m. Be sure to join us then.
Operating a business these days can get really complicated. What if someone slips and falls? What if you get robbed or burglarized?